And John, give me that organ. Give me that New York Knicks organ. Because I felt like I heard the organ in Philadelphia yesterday. Because the Knicks fans, they hopped on the Acela or they got in their whips. They came and took over Philadelphia yesterday. And I never thought Philadelphia, of all places, would get its arena taken over. This series is ugly and it's chippy. Like Joel Embiid is quietly, like I love 90s basketball, so don't take this the wrong way, Philly fans. But Joel Embiid is out here compiling a bunch of wrong place, wrong time hits on folks. He got Brunson in the chops yesterday, which I think might have woken up Jalen Brunson. He, what was it, Mitchell Robinson, he got him. Who did he step on Josh Hart's leg yesterday? Was it someone else's leg? Was it Precious Achiuwa's leg or something like that? He's compiling a Draymond Green-esque sort of.
He did have a Draymond kick in one of the other games.
Hey, dudes who kick dudes in the nether regions, ain't no place for that. Like you need to have a talk with like your daddy about that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's stuff that you learn growing up.
So, and then for him to be wreaking all that havoc and to also go in on the Philly fans, like he didn't have to, the question was posed to him. It's not like he went out of his way to bring it up. But once it was brought up, he had lots to say about it. Unlike Nick Nurse, who I thought took the practical approach and was like, I'm not, like Nick Nurse got too many other things to deal with and to worry about the fan
like being
ratio.
outcoached.
Right. So I think a little bit too much is being made of, the Knicks fans are taking over. Fans don't determine, the outcome of playoffs.
Oh, no. It's just the visual and it just adds to the scene. No, I get that.
So my thing on the Knicks, what's really impressed me about them is that the Knicks don't have the highest ceiling of any team in the playoffs, but they do have the highest floor. And I think that's proven to be pretty valuable because what it's shown is that they can withstand the lulls that everyone has, right? And you're not going to put them away while they're having their lull. It's just too hard for them to be put away because they're going to crash the boards and get offensive rebounds and second chance shots. They're going to create turnovers on the other end, so limit your opportunities to pull away from them because they're going to get some stops on that end. And so it enables them to stay in games and release the pressure because they don't have to be as efficient, right? So much of the modern NBA is built on efficiency. The Knicks can beat you without being efficient because they're going to get second and third and even fourth chance scoring opportunities. And you're not going to be efficient against them.
Right.
So like each possession doesn't feel like it matters. Their opponent, like the Sixers, feel like, you better score right here. And the Knicks are like, if they don't score here, they either get the offensive rebound or they'll come back with the score being the same the next time they get the ball because you're not going to score at the other end. So I think that creates that has changed the way I think about their playoff potential because you can stick around and then things might happen like at the end of game 2 when, they overcome a 5-point deficit in the last 30 seconds because you can't put them away.
Well, here's the thing about this. For whatever reason, like you said, the age of efficiency, it devalued offensive rebounding. It valued getting back on defense and setting your defense, which means you're not, I guess because there's a low rate of return on going to the glass offensively compared to giving up potentially a fast break bucket. But when you saw the Knicks repeatedly hit the glass, getting extra possessions, even if they didn't score, I felt like they were taking Philly's spirit. Like in the whole, they wanted it more thing, it feels really weird to say because we've seen plenty of instances where what it looks like. They really wanted it more than the Knicks did yesterday. I mean, than the 76ers did yesterday, excuse me. Like that was kind of disheartening to see. And Josh Hart didn't shoot well, right? But he grabbed like 1 million rebounds after hitting like 4 threes in 3 straight games. He couldn't hit anything, but decided to go to the boards. Deuce McBride, who I don't even think people knew whether he could really play before the RJ Barrett trade. You know what I mean? And then you put OG Anunoby on Joel Embiid, and it worked out. Like Tibbs is pushing the right buttons. I wasn't sure if he was like a great playoff coach because I thought he coached 82 playoff games.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I always felt like it wouldn't translate.
Something.
It's translating. That's the thing. Like, because my whole thing is like, yeah, they're going to beat you in the regular season when you're trying really hard. and the other team is on a third game and they're on a third game in 5 nights, back to back, maybe hit the city of New York last night, whatever. But like, no, it's making a difference in the playoffs. Like my thing in the playoffs, like, well, everybody's trying hard. Philly's trying hard, right? I don't think that, you're hitting Joel Embiid's out there giving it all. Like Maxi's running around. Like it's not like they're being out efforted, but they're just basics. Box out. Can you box somebody out? Like that's why I don't want to hear about the missed calls at the end of the game too. And even the NBA acknowledges that the referees missed calls and that. But you know what? Box out Hartenstein and it doesn't matter, right? Just box out. And they're not doing those basic things like boxing out. So like, that's not even about wanting it more. That's just about like, okay, who's going to just be smarter and take care of the little details? That's what it is, right? It's not about heart and desire. The playoffs are about the details. Who's going to take care of the details? And the Knicks are worried about the details to an extent that the Sixers are not.
Well, and that's the thing. It's the details. And it's, Nick, not just Nick Nurse, but Kyle Lowry. If you don't have anybody to inbound the ball to in game 2, you call a timeout. You send everybody else calling a timeout. Kyle Lowry's the vet and the champion. Since when did we remove culpability from that player who's inbounding the ball, who's standing right next to the ref and listening to the ref count off 1,000, 1,000? Call a damn timeout. Like, this is not rocket science to me. Everybody in Philly on that roster seems to panic. Like Tyrese Maxey plays very fast, so it looks like he panics. Nick Nurse always looks like he's panicking. Kyle Lowry is going to throw his body into somebody because he's panicking. Joel Embiid, who can't seem to hit a bucket in the fourth quarter, right? And it has to be said with the caveat, Jay, that this guy's coming off a major, like a knee procedure. And he's clearly not healthy.
And he's still Bell's palsy.
And Bell's
palsy. Last
palsy.
time you saw that in the playoff injury update? Bell's palsy?
Not never, right? Not never. So he's playing through all this. And he doesn't have gas in the fourth quarter. Like, he's clearly wearing down. But it looks like once again, the 76ers are going to do what they've always done when they blow something in the playoffs. They're going to fire Doc Rivers at the end of this.
Oh, man. And get rid of Ben Simmons. They're going to blame it on Ben Simmons and Doc, right?
And James Harden. Don't forget him too. Everybody else is going to get the blame.